My husband destroyed my trust, belongings of my deceased daughter, and our marriage in one day. What do I do now? I lost my only daughter a few years ago while I was married to another man. We moved apart, too hurt to be around one another. That was when I met my now husband, who brought me out of my depression and gave me a reason to continue fighting. He gave me hope for a future. That hope blossomed, as we had our son not long after we got together. I never forgot about my daughter, and kept her photos up around the house, as well as a small shrine for her in the corner of my sunroom. My husband never minded, and recently my son has taken notice of his sister in the pictures. I told him about her, and how she is no longer with us, but he should know he had a sister. The moment was quick, but very meaningful to me. He walked away and I thought that was that. Turns out I was wrong. My son went to his dad to ask about his sister as well, which made my husband extremely uncomfortable. He didn't know much about my daughter, but mostly he hated that our son was learning about death at such a young age. Instead of coming to me about the entire issue, he went over to his parents' house to vent. They sided with him, saying he had every right to be uncomfortable, that 6 years old was too young to learn about death, and that it was unhealthy for me to still hold on to such an attachment to someone who died a long time ago. They convinced him it would be in his child's best interest to get rid of any memory of a previous sibling, so he doesn't grow up feeling like he is second best. He took everything they said to heart, but instead of talking to me about it, he put his own plan into action. When I came home from work that day, I saw that all of my daughter's photos had been taken off of the photo wall. I went into the sunroom to discover the entire shrine was gone as well. This sent me into panic mode, as that shrine held some non-replaceable items from my daughter. There was a note she wrote to me, telling me how much she loved me, her favorite stuffed animal when she was a kid, and a macaroni frame she made, that had a picture of us together inside. All together, things that I could never just get back. I ran to my husband and asked if he knew what happened to the shrine. He explained to me that he took down all the photos and shrine, and threw everything away. My heart froze and I felt like throwing up. I asked him when he did this, and he said a few hours earlier. I ran outside to check our garbage bin, only to find the garbage truck had come by and emptied it. I went back to him and started yelling and crying, asking him why he would throw away priceless items that are so precious to me. He said he didn't want our son to grow up and think he wasn't as important as a dead sister, that the constant reminder that she existed wasn't healthy and I needed to move on with my life, and forget about her. He told me he went to his parents for advice, and they helped open his eyes towards my toxic obsession with my dead daughter. It felt like he wasn't even sharing his own opinions anymore, just quoting everything his parents told him. I hate to admit it, but I slapped him. I was just so angry and hurt. I went into my closet and found a memory box that he thankfully didn't throw out. It held memories of my life, and apparently the only mementos of my daughter left in this world. I grabbed the box, packed a bag, and grabbed my son. The entire time my husband was yelling at me that I was insane and abusive, that what he did was right, and I was overreacting. I just told him I would never, ever be able to forgive him, then left for my parents' house. Once there I put my son inside my old bedroom to play with some of his toys, then broke down and told my parents everything. They comforted me, and reassured me that my husband was in the wrong, that I had every right to leave, and they would let me stay there for as long as necessary. I got a bunch of voicemails from my husband and his parents, all saying I need serious help because I clearly couldn't let go of the past, and attacking my husband should get me locked up in a hospital. I'm terrified they might actually try to do that to me, and I'm so confused on what to do next.